gentlemen, today we have a very interesting and a special guest. She happens to be very involved in the Toastmaster scene here in Bahrain. Plus, she works with the Supreme Council for Environment. She's a cosplayer and singer, and more than meets the eyes. With us today is Maram Ashur. Well, good evening, Maram. How are you?
Good evening, Bala. Thank you so much for having me. I'm feeling ecstatic. Thank you so much for having me.
Ecstatic. I love that word. Very much. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen tonight. So now you've been involved in the Toastmasters world. What's happening there?
Actually, I've been a member since 2012 in one club, which is the Young Adult Toastmasters Club. And it's all about involving your communication and leadership skills. But to me, once you get in, you never get out. It's an ongoing program, actually, and thanks to it, I've gained a family that actually helped shape a big portion of my life and who I am today. So I'm very thankful for them.
So how long have you been there for?
Since 2012.
Wow, so that's like pretty much a good period, and it keeps evolving and developing and all of that.
Exactly.
And today, where are you standing?
Today, I am the Vice President of Public Relations on my club. And so I am the image of my club. I'm monitoring the social media accounts, designing posters.
Wow.
And this is something that I have picked up all together since maybe 2017, I would say.
And on top of that, being on TV, talking about it and all that, representing the club itself and all of that.
It's an honor. I don't think my club actually realizes that I'm going to talk about them today.
Amazing, amazing. So it's a lot of work, right, being the VP?
It is. But again, it's not like I have something to do. It's just basically I'm working on myself and developing myself.
Right.
And I have a lot of time I want to invest. And again, because of this, I picked up a new skill, which is designing.
Amazing.
Because I'm not familiar with Photoshop.
Right.
And thanks to it, I picked up another tool, which is Canva, and made my life super easy.
Amazing.
With posters and video making as well.
Okay, so pretty much it's going to be a part of your life for as long as you make it part of your life, right?
True, but it does take a toll sometimes,
Yeah?
especially with a lot of events going. So I actually had to put my master's for a very, very long time.
Okay.
But inshallah, when things fall into place, I would say, probably going to pick it up by next year.
Okay, master's in what?
Environment as well.
Environment. Okay, speaking of environment, so it happens that you also work for the Supreme Council for Environment.
Yes, I do.
Tell us more about that.
It's an honor, and again, it's all thanks to God that I have worked in a place that I have always wanted to work in. And it's actually great because I'm involved with the decision making and the process of making Bahrain better.
Okay.
Since 2017, I've taken up a project about updating our legislations, and thanks to that, we have been excessively promoting the new ozone bylaws and protecting the ozone layer, as I'm working under the ozone unit with the National Ozone Officer, Engineer Hassan Mubarak.
Okay, so a lot of environmental work going on over there with the regulations and legislations, and it just keeps updating every year and year, and being part of the Ozone Layers Protection Committee, I would say at this point?
Yes, it's under an international treaty called the Montreal Protocol, and Bahrain has been a member since in the 90s. And Bahrain has always actually been at the top of the countries in terms of achievements, and this is no difference.
Okay.
This bylaw actually is part of a bigger plan or model, let us say, that is been implemented for the first time in GCC. So all the countries in the region is looking at Bahrain's experience and our success, and I'm honored to be part of this plan, and I'm definitely going to work to make sure that it is successful.
You got a lot going on, definitely. So from Toastmasters to the environment world and all of that, and you pretty much into the Korean culture as well?
Yes, I do. I am. I'm into K-pop, and I'm watching a lot of K-drama.
It's amazing how this, I would say, in generation today, when it comes to empowering women and all of this, you pretty much set a good, I would say, example right now, as you are in the Toastmasters, right? And then you are pretty much trying to make Bahrain on the map when it comes to the ozone layer and representing Bahrain internationally speaking. And you still have the time to go and enjoy some passions like K-pop and even singing at this point, right? But not only that, because there is more to you as well. You're into fashion, more into the cosplay world.
Yes, I am. remind you that I'm also the president of the Korean Culture Club established by the Korean Embassy.
No way.
Called Manse Club. Currently, I am the president, but yeah, I still have some time to work on a hobby, which is cosplay, as you said.
Okay. It's very interesting, as we had Haifa Naslib as well earlier on the show.
She was the first president of the club.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on, definitely.
A lot of time management and juggling things.
How do you do that?
I have to just time myself and most importantly delegate. I wouldn't say impossible, but it's quite difficult to handle everything on my own. So I make sure that in each aspect or each program or each hobby that I'm taking, I have a team with me that helps me, and so that we can basically deliver our outcomes.
And just grow together and make it happen.
Yeah.
All right, now, as even for understand, your sister is more involved in the e-sport world. You have your friends all around you together, all doing some amazing work with this Haifa and other personalities in your life. Now, as a new generation, like all coming in, mostly, we'll say, let's talk about the girls right now. What would you gonna advise them with? Because right now, you've been working the Toastmasters, still are, Supreme Council for Environment, K-pop, passion, but same time keeping, you know, some fun side to it. And it's hard to juggle all of that, even so that you want to make sure that you pretty much give some energy to every aspect of what you want to do. What is your advice?
I would say if you want something, if you're very passionate about something, just go for it. It's the first step is always the hardest, but once you're at the doorstep and just past that, it's going to be quite easy. It's not going to be impossible, I would say. It's not that difficult, but as long as you're very passionate about it, and you're going to find your way sooner or later, even if the world is against you. Even if the world is against you, just as the world was against me when I was wanted to study chemical engineering.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because at that time they said that the major is not suitable for ladies because of the work space and basically the jobs. They were not preferring women at that time.
Okay.
And my mom did everything she could to meet up with personalities that said, like, this is the wrong choice. But because I'm a scientific major from
high school.
High school, yeah, I did not want. I only saw myself studying chemical engineering.
Interesting.
And once she saw that I'm 100% passionate about it, she just supported me, and I'm absolutely happy that I went for it. A lot of people say that it's difficult. It was, but because I loved it so much, I was able to graduate with a really high GPA, alhamdulillah, and as I said, had the chance to work for the environment, which is something that I've always wanted to pursue.
It's amazing. Like, what it seems like pretty much right now, as you're setting an example to a lot of people here, boys and girls all together, to be honest with you. But it seems like pretty much seeing people like yourself right now as you're thriving in different areas in your life. Example, again, Toastmasters, cosplaying, even, is there something you want to add on top of all of that? You're like,
it's just a bunch of, I'm collecting a bunch of hobbies, such as horse riding, my next
horse
project.
riding is going to be your next step? You're going to be in your next thing?
No, my next step hopefully is going to be diving.
Diving? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, interesting. What about the digital world? Anything over there you want to just tap into?
I may start streaming.
Streaming? I'll be your first fan, subscribing to your channel.
I may start streaming soon. I'm just settling a few things, and because I've been obsessed about this game called Dead by Daylight.
Yes, yes.
And it's the only thing that I play, like, almost whenever I have a free time. So
I can imagine. I know why.
It's very addictive.
It is, yeah, pretty
Can't
much.
blame me.
I won't, actually. Maybe I'll join you on your stream for that matter. All right, any last words to your viewers?
I would say that if you have anything that you would like to pursue, or the fans would like to pursue, just go for it. At the end of the day, it is your choice, and you choose to put all the obstacles in front of you and say, this is difficult, I can do this, the world is against me, or choose to overcome these obstacles and just go for it and do whatever you want. Because at the end of the day, this is your life and this is what you want to do. And if you go for something that you love and passionate about, you're definitely going to go high.
Amazing. Amazing. And I can't wait for your channel. Just send us the link later on so I can enjoy the streams. Maram, this has been a very delightful talk. Thank you so much for being with us right here on Bahrain Now. It's been a great pleasure.
It is my honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Most definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it yourself with Maram right here on Bahrain Now, talking about how can you pretty much pursue your life to the fullest. All that took place right here on Bahrain Now.